Okay, we're back with more Super Win the Game. This is a really cool retro style Metroidvania. I was enjoying it quite a bit. Last time we played, we beat the original You Have to Win the Game and then started Super Win the Game. That was several months ago, so it's probably going to take me a bit to catch up. I was bad, did not leave myself a future Marstead message about what I should be doing. So I'm going to be pretty dependent on the in-game Metroidvania map to keep track of where I should be going. If there's a mechanic I should know about but have completely forgotten, feel free to just tell me. Don't worry about backseating in that respect. Like all of those words. The original You Have to Win the Game was super good too, actually. It seems like a great follow-up too. Might be able to cheese my way up there. Hold on, I'm gonna try. Nice. Hello, Mr. Turtle. Sweet. The original's free to play. This one's 79 cents on Steam. I love the Zelda 2 Overworld too. Alright, so there's more to explore in there. I'll have to remember. I still need to play Star Tropics. It was the game that had an important clue in the instruction manual, right? I'm gonna try going the other... Well, this seems like this is a harder place to get to. Let's see what's on this side first. Right. Also kind of reminds me of Battle Kid. I want to be the guy, but significantly more reasonable. Poisonous swamp water ahead. Got it. You're gonna get the ability, the Zelda 2 temples here. To swim through poison swamp water is the question. Top 10 NES games, yeah. I'm excited to check it out. One of Andrea's colleagues in grad school is super into Star Tropics, so I guess I've already done this one. Never mind. The map's already revealed. I love that it tells you whether you've gotten all the crystals in the area you're currently visiting. I thought it destroyed the temple when you were done with it in this game, but that's Zelda 2. Alright, so I think I've actually already been to most of the areas on this side of the map. I'm going to go back in the forest to see what that other exit was. Let me see too if I can move this game to 480p. 1 second. Game is technically 720p, but not really. Bars on either side. Frame up in here. 1200, please. Thank you. There we go. That should be easier to see. The title screen is no black bars on the side. It's easy to lose track of it. Yeah, there's this Death Valley area too, which I haven't finished yet. Gonna need to have the ability to swim through lava, which I don't have yet. Okay. Although this is suspicious to me. Okay. I thought maybe it was fake lava. That appears to not be the case. I'm just gonna go back into the cave I started from. It looks like I was actually close to done with it before. So there's special forest tiles on either side of the river. Let's go. Whoa, that was some jank. Wall hug jank, basically. Okay, I can't go through there for sure. This is the way I came before, but there are a couple exits that I haven't taken yet. Hey, it's a key. Cool, I need those. Area off east and then southwest I can check. Let's do that. Beam. Alright, how many keys am I sitting on? 2. Use the skeleton. I remember I saved up all the money to buy the skeleton key, which I think I still have to use regular keys in some cases. It doesn't save me for the whole game. So it looks like progress. I think I was able to come here without double jump originally. Freaking me out there. There have been some fake walls in this game, so I want to try to keep an eye out for those if possible. Is poison water? It is, okay. Subterranean waterways. Use the skeleton key. Now, I think I've been to the subterranean waterways area before. Not this part of it, obviously, but maybe not. Need to get whatever upgrade lets me move forward at normal speed underwater. Gravity suit or whatever. Because you get a full jump underwater, so that helps. Turn it up a little bit. This game's a bit quieter than some of its peers. Usually any game with a chiptune soundtrack, I'm a little bit worried about turning up the volume too much. Should be pretty safely in the green though. Let me know if it becomes a problem later. Ooh, this is cool. Oh, this forest is an actual area. I don't have infinite jump underwater, no. Still just a double jump. I do get higher jump height like Mega Man. I'd like to come to these woods for peace and quiet. I'm able to effectively get infinite jump by grabbing onto walls. You can do like an infinite wall climb. So curious if the other exit goes somewhere else. Let me try real quick. Okay. It's just a flavor area for now. Arcadian's Tower. Are you here to see the Arcadian? Won't you know what I might be? I think this whole area is traversable without the double jump. Hey. Hail, Wayfarer, welcome to my tower. Could I trouble you to fetch something for me? Huzzah! In the dungeon to the east, there's an orb that emits a crimson aura. I'd like to study it. Bring me this orb and I will give you gems in return. Okay. It's that particular style of curtain, right? I think it's literally the same sprite from both Zelda 2 and Mario 3. You know that those are donut blocks. That's all that's up here. Please do not read this sign. Okay, let's go to this temple thing. You headed into the dungeon. Be careful. Just in case there's anything up top. Go check. Ha! The secrets in this game are very satisfying. They were also very satisfying, and you have to win the game. Help! A wizard turned into a sign. Should hit that bell really quick. I guess this might be the way you discover this, is coming in from this side initially. I have to jump from pretty far. Let's see. Don't touch the spikes! Nope. Question is it possible? I can't do it there, though. Thank you, spikes. Thought maybe... okay. Thought maybe there would be like a invisible block there. I feel like there still probably is, unless there's another upgrade that gives me infinite jumps, right? Alright, I'll remember this is here for later. This dungeon was once the king's palace. Okay. Does not open from this side. Our hollow king rules a hollow land now. You did this zone very early in your game? That's cool. But it's possible you don't need to double jump for it, right? I just lucked out and went in the direction of that pretty early. Exits. Oh, cool. Do stuff in that room here in a second. Magic books will show you things from dreams. It can also take you back to the entrance of the dungeon you're in. Read that in a book somewhere. A magic book. Key in this room. Excuse you. Ha! Okay. That's good to know. So there might be some of those in that area I was stuck in before. Don't have the ability to go through lightning yet. Bells are a checkpoint. And now we've got invisible blocks, like I thought there might be earlier. So just the one block there? Guessing there's an upgrade I can get later. Wow, I think I just got up there the first time. Raw dumb luck, right? Now I'm wondering if it's a disappearing block thing, and I need to have like an upgrade to be able to see the blocks, right? It probably is. Oh no. shouldn't have dropped down after I got that gem. I just wanted to hit the checkpoint. I'm gonna try one more time. Let's see. Yeah, presumably there's an upgrade I can get that lets me just see them. So I'll come back later once I presumably have that upgrade. So I need to come back here anyway when I get the ability to pass those lightning blocks. What do we got in here? More gems. So this area is made easier by having both the double jump and the wall grab. I could have come here way earlier. That one I need to get the exclamation point block to subcon. Okay, cool. Ha! Nice. Oh, these secrets. Let me actually open subcon really quick. Convenient shortcut. It's good enough for me to have just walked into subcon to unlock the shortcut, right? Okay, looks like there's more... They called Yoku blocks. Presumably they're just like the same color as the background. Oh, I see. Tricksy. Yeah, super win the game. It's pretty good. I really like the original You Have to Win the Game. It was pretty solid. I think it appears when the other block is gone. Yeah. Okay. Shoot, I need to stay put once I get up there if the block fills in. So I can get myself killed. Shoot. I panic once I actually get on the first block. I don't have a chance to sit and breathe. Sure can. There we go. Alright, now I can leave. Alright. Yeah. Secret spike wall. Subcon shortcut's done. The first one is still free, this one's like 67 cents. See you, sir. Have a nice day. Oh, alright. Thank you, double jump. Saving my bacon, bummer. It's fine. King's Heart restored. We begin rebuilding these ruins. Fell down here and now I can't get out. Check the roof. I see a gem over there, but I don't think it's worth the hassle. Kind of flip the switch when I get the gem, maybe? No, I guess not. So I already opened the blue exclamation point block. This game has a lot of inspirations. Wish more games would do the Super Mario World colored exclamation point block mechanic. I think it's cool. Fits pretty well, it slots pretty well into a Metroidvania as well, I think. I just want to go down from here. Hadn't opened either block. Alright, so there's definitely something in the lava there. Whenever I get the ability to swim in lava. They're smart to put the fish there. So just eventually you'll be able to come in here. Fell down here and can't get out. I don't think I'm stuck. I feel like I should be able to complete this place. And this is just the exit at this point. Let's see. Somewhere in the far northeast corner. Is there an item upgrade that I should be able to get here at this point? Like a progression upgrade? The doorway I didn't explore. Okay, I'll see if I can find it. Do you remember? Oh, this one. Thanks. I don't know if there's a word puzzle in this one. I did like that in the first one. Crimson Aura activates red ghost blocks. There we go. Achievement unlocked, seeing red, which you can't see. You read from the book. This is what was written. These cool black and white sequences. And do you read these books? So it's not just infinitely scaling, it looks like. Sleepless watch over us. They're not our allies. Do you hear the chimes, Wayfarer? Felt as if I'd been away for years. At least I still had all my teeth. We return to the dungeon entrance, yes. I don't think I needed the red blocks for anything just yet, so take that for now. Probably unlocks progress somewhere else. I should be able to talk to the wizard guy now. I did your quest. This orb will be perfect for my research. Here's the reward I promised you. You may keep the orb. I'm sure its powers will help you. Sweet. Seems like a fun game to try to 100%. I think most zone boundaries have cool. Let's see, I think most zone boundaries have a bell right at the entrance. Hello, Wayfarer. Town of Lakewood. House of Fortunes. I am the fortune teller. Will you have your fortune told? You have spent an hour and 20 minutes. You've died 101 times. You've never owed a debt. Hey, thanks, Woodeffects. The Hall of Speedruns. They offer several courses for your enjoyment. Not to worry if you haven't explored the world thoroughly yet. To prevent cheating, we also ask you don't bring your current equipment with you. I'm sure there's going to be an I am error character eventually, That's cool. Some of these courses are tough. You have a map. Maps are funny things, aren't they? Plotting out every nook and cranny until there are no more secrets or mysteries. Imagine if you could plot out your life the same way. I would love to. Thanks, dude. Evil wizard fragmented the king's heart and scattered the pieces across the land. I am the jeweler. What'll it be? Double question mark. I can teleport you to another land. Oh, cool. I will check with her after I finish exploring this town. It's the guy that loans you a key if you get stuck, right? I can't lend you keys now because I don't need them because I got the skeleton key. I found a key on the floor. Would you like it? Use it well. Another key. Say the Arcadian has a mask that can see ghosts. Huh. Should probably go back to the Arcadian then. Kitty! I think being able to see ghosts will let me see those invisible Mega Man blocks, but I saw a rat. I'm gonna come back here to use that gem lady's teleport, but first I want to go check if the Arcadian has anything that I'm missing. Read the mask that can see ghosts. Because I guess I technically could have just walked here, right? I ended up taking an underwater shortcut, but it wasn't necessary. I'm sure I don't have it. A double jump. Hey dude, you got a mask? Are you sure about that? I already went to the top of this room, but just want to make 100% sure I'm not missing something. There's just a gem up here before. Can't climb up any higher as far as I can tell. Please do not read this sign. I'm so sorry, game. Alright, maybe he doesn't give it to me yet. Maybe I have to come back to him for it later. Or maybe it's just a Zelda 2 style useless bit of information. Simon's Quest, right? Alright, let's use the teleport here. See you on the other side. Abracabam. Portal inside will return you to Overworld. Oh, am I in, like, the dwarf world? Speak to the jeweler when you wish to return. Whoa, Lava Town. Reminds me of Final Fantasy IV. Yikes. Okay, so there are definitely Mega Man blocks in here, but where? It's an extremely suspicious dead end there. Green gems. Oh, we're hearing the sound of the spikes retracting. Gotcha. Ow. Tiny enemy crab. Ah. No me gusta. Shoot. This is some Meat Boy shit here. I don't think that counted. Oh, it did. Perfect. So I guess it would matter if you were trying to go for like a no deaths run. I think it's still possible. Like, you never have to suicide to get a gem, but... Shit. I always get impatient right before I'm supposed to lean back. Evil snack. Sea mushrooms. Okay, so there never was an invisible block. Nothing further down now that I've got that gem. Whew. More than a little nervous there. Okay, cool. Progress time. Shoot its tiny weak point for a little bit of damage. Who even needs massive damage? Ooh, okay. Opens the next door in this area. Got it. Progress hype. Game Saucer, in case we beat this early, which I don't think we will, but if we do beat it with over an hour, I have your backup game downloaded. I didn't get a chance to do any video testing on it, so let's take a couple minutes for that if we have to. Oh, is this like, this might be the final area in the game? Yeah, I think we have to come back once we have all the other upgrades. Okay. Each of those little zones checks to see if you have them yet. Got it. On the world map, I desperately need... Clearly it's a big old ruby. I desperately need a map on the map. Silly as that might be. Talk to this guy again. I think I already have, but... Snowstorm hides a secret. Try to check all of the edges of the map now that I know that they sometimes have secrets behind them. There's little glades you can walk into, basically. Already got that gem. I've already been over in the poison swamp area. see what else I can find. Fishing village. Door bears a strange symbol. It does not appear to open. Legend speaks of a great fish that lives in the waterways. Maybe I'll catch it someday. Ready for scuba gear. Oh wow. This connects to the area I started the episode in, I think. Where is the nearest bell? I want to try to do some shenanigans over the water here. There's one. I feel like there's something beyond the spikes there, but it does show the end of a wall on the map. Yeah, I don't think that's makeable. Okay. Worth checking. Come back there after we figure out whatever that symbol is. Already went through there. Might be more stuff to do in the Death Mountain area in the top corner. I have picked up one progression thing in the red blocks. Don't have to deal with you, spikes. See if there's anything new in the snowstorm ice area. Definitely did this last time. Four Corners Lodge. I think we even did the dungeon that was out here. Vendors are downstairs. Did you see my penguin? She's shy. I think this guy has no more quests for me, right? What a downer. Presumably she also just sends me to Lava World? Okay. I guess this is just a way to get back to the initial area, depending on where you've been. So... I can't think of too many areas that I haven't directly visited then. If anyone in chat has played this before and has a general recommendation of a place I could go for progress, I wouldn't turn that down. I'm going to try going through these caves real quick. Jump for the donut blocks. Definitely need to gain the ability to swim in lava. That would open up a lot. Don't particularly remember anything that's currently gated by, I already got this gem, right? I think of anything that's gated by the red exclamation point block. I think I already did the secret that was in the storm. I mean, there's a cave here, right? Zero in the Higgins Hubble. That's just an invisible roof, that's fine. I guess I'll go into dungeons I've already been in and check and see if the gem count shows that it's done or not, and if it's not done, that probably suggests that there's something I can do with the red block there. I didn't come through here when I had swimming, I guess. There is an exit further down, let's try that. Okay. Hey Moonshine, how you doing? Use the skeleton key. This might just be to get that gem, we'll see. Doing alright. Oh, well, I still got the gem, so... Still says there's one here that I haven't gotten now. The one that's conveyed on the map here? Oh yeah, I just fall straight through. Clever. I'm a fan of that. I don't know what killed me there, though. A little bit further to the right, right? Get to the wall! Nope. Alright, I learned more, though. Ooh. No idea what that is. It's exciting. I think I have to start from the bottom to have a chance of reaching it. Big fan of this as a secret, though. Anything that's conveyed by the map. I feel like a lot of Metroidvanias don't really use the map as a tool for secrets like this. Yeah, it might be. I'm actually not sure what's killing me now. So there's an invisible enemy over there that I need like the lens of truth to be able to see. Yeah, I think you're right, because I already had a couple pieces of it. It's not a progression item in and of itself, unfortunately. Alright, well I can make that now. I just have to hug the wall longer and then see if there's more I can do off to the east of it. This wall just spikes in depth on that side. Okay. If I go on the right side now, because there's still a gem over there I can grab. Sweet. Okay, I think I'm done with this area now. Just suicide to get out. Let's keep checking off this way and see what we can find. Okay, so I am missing 2 gems in the Glacial Palace, so I'll see if I can get to those now. I think that's a one-way donut block there. So there's one in here. Must reach it from the top right corner though, okay. That's the way forward, I think, but it's in this little cubby hole, but I think there's a little thing I have to raise up from below to block these things from being able to zap me to death. Or I could just run really fast, that works too. Got it. Nice. This is fine. Alright, there's still one more gem I haven't found, which must be behind like a fake wall somewhere, because it's not marked on the map, and the entire map looks like it's completed. The X on the left actually takes me out of this dungeon entirely. We got the double jump. Oh, it's that weird symbol again. Okay, it might be behind that door then, so until I figure out how to deal with that. Let me start making notes for this game on things that I've left behind. Ice Palace, door with weird symbol, fishing village, door with weird symbol. I'm trying to think. There's a couple places with lava that I'll have to go back to. I'll start typing them now that I'm thinking about it. I think you need all of them, I'm not sure though. You have to win the game rewards you for trying to do everything. There's a bad ending you could get. Wasn't very satisfying. Sylvan Path. Could get me more stuff in the water here. I don't know that I've thoroughly explored it yet. Yeah, I'm missing 6 gems in the subterranean waterways. This is probably progress. Connect to a lot of different zones if you swim up. It's kind of cool, actually. So this is a zone I've been to already. This is where there was a secret in the desert. I did this one a while ago. It's rough out here in the desert. Just gonna take a quick pass though to see if there's any. I may have missed a couple areas because of the red exclamation point block. And don't come back. Here's where I expected there to be a secret area. Oh good, I'm missing 2 gems here. We'll see if we can get to them. If we can't, I'll mark why. There's like a specific tile that you have to move on, and I happened to find it the first time we came here. Okay, well, let me write this down. Desert Palace, door with lightning. I got several of those that I can't get past yet. It wasn't clear if that went anywhere interesting. Oh, I can't. I thought maybe I could climb on the wall there. No. Oh, it's probably lava. Just guessing that's what I'm missing here. I'll write it down. Desert Palace, lava swimming. Okay. See what I can find regardless. This area is all done, right? Did this a while ago. It might be that both of them are locked behind the lava. Hard to say for sure. Oh, there's one in here that I definitely missed. Alright, we'll go for that. I gave up trying to find the treasure in this room. Possibly stuff in that lava there as well. Oops. Oh, that's unfortunate. Checkpoint bell, please. $27. Alright, so you have to win the game was full of little secrets like that. Write that down here. Almost like borderline La Mulana style puzzles in the original. You have to win the game. They usually weren't that complicated, that obtuse, but shit. I think I just gotta walk straight forward and ignore the shortcut door. It's keeping me away from my checkpoint bells. I already had this guy talk my ear off. I already did the secret dune. I think that's where we got the blue orb. So maybe we do have to use the red orb in here. We'll see. Totally not thwomps. How do we get that? Have a guess. Not like that. Beating this without dying, I imagine, is pretty tricky. Or if those always are at the same spot as I come up from under the floor. I think it's through the wall back here. Oh, it wasn't! Game, you let me down. Maybe it's through here then. Ah! Eat it. I love this game's secrets. Okay, cool. Didn't survive on the way out, but that's fine. This is a mechanic. Let it get higher. Oh, I didn't finish exploring in here last time. Weird. Subcon. Cool. Probably use this to get around later. To figure out what it is I'm missing. Ways. Alright, let me go back to the dungeon I was just in. I think there's still a crystal I'm missing there. Desert ruins. Although the gem I'm missing is almost certainly under the lava. I don't see any other areas I could explore here, so I'll try to go one more room to the east there and see if there's anything special. Oh wait, no, that was the one where I had to just jump through the spikes, right? Here we go. There's an arrow pointing at you to do it. have no idea what's killing me. Some more invisible garbage. It looks like it's invisible garbage, okay. Does that mean that there's a platform I can get on that's not invisible? I need the lens of truth very badly. It's probably not worth me brute forcing my way through this area. Alright, there was some kind of block at the bottom of that thing. I think this is set up to make it extremely hard for you to brute force it. Let me mark that that's there. Desert ruins. Visible blocks. Okay. Let's go through Subcon then. It just wraps around, right? So. To the lair of the Hollow King. Doesn't open from this side. Glacial Palace, which I think is done except for the door with the weird symbol. Let me just make sure that there's no secrets behind the... Fuck you, game. House of Baffle. Oh, it's the Sleep World. I dug a hole straight through the center of everything. That was a good secret, because like the whole map is symmetrical, and there's that one weird hole at the top, right? 5 gems here. This is like a legit dungeon, it looks like. Probably have to come through that door in another direction. Okay. This area doesn't trigger on the map, it looks like. 2. Oh, is it the 27 maybe? Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a cool way to make sure that the Roman numerals you see you associate with this infinite hole, right? 17, 18, 20. Too long divorced from the longing to sell it right. All I got now is this apathetic veneer. I may not age as gracefully as I wanted to, but I can recall almost everything here. That's pretty cool. I like that as a secret. I wonder how far down it goes if you were trying to brute force it. Is there life after 27? I played a lot of Diablo 2 when I was younger, yeah. Never played the original Diablo 1. Love to do a Diablo 2 campaign playthrough on stream at some point. Light a fire. Be vulnerable. Get angry. Find your lift. Find your levity. Find your Valkyrie. Is it all this for like a gem? Do something, make something, and be something. Be better. That was the end. Says there's still 5 gems here. So maybe there's other places in the world that show Roman numerals. Let me write that down. Numerals. House. Whoa. I thought while I was standing there that, oh, it was because I had the keyboard set up. I'm like, why did it change to the letter E? Sky Pillars is done with gems. There's a bit of map completion I might be able to get, but I don't think it's worth it. Desert Ruins. Travel quickly. Stemmons community. Which I think is like the starting area. Yeah, this is the very first town, I think. So those individual birds be something important, right? Six pieces of the King's Heart, one each in the south, east, and west, two in the north, one deep underground. Oh, I know this, not telling. I have 3 out of 6. That one in the water was pretty sneaky. Definitely have more to do in the waterways, so I'll try starting here. Need to be able to swim through poison water. Okay, so there's lightning. Waterways. Lightning. I mean, there's poison water down here too. I'm totally this. Oh, but now there's a red platform. I cheesed my way through here before just with wall jump shenanigans. I need to know that I'm supposed to have the red platform here. It's possible that this changes everything. Alright, this is new. Let's go check that out. Diablo 3 ended up kind of doing a remake of Diablo 1 in its own game, right? Darkening of Tristram. Diablo 1 is pretty much just running deeper and deeper into a single dungeon, if I recall. Haven't actually played it. I was about to be very sad. Oh, I think I am very sad. That one's always on. Why is this even here? I guess it was if I don't have double jump or I don't have the wall climb, that must be it. Come on, progress. Or a gem. Or both. This could be both. Okay, find a way to get into that little room there. Nice. This is new. There's another locked door there that might be important. Okay, this is an area I've been to, but not in the underwater section, I guess. Probably go back and check every area that has water to see if there's a new door. South Bridge, I already got the one gem. And back into the waterways. The waterways connect to like almost every water area in the game. Water on the left. You mean in the waterways section, or? Oh, good call. Didn't see it marked, so I stopped checking. I think I know where this is going to take me. Good looking out, Walter. I have to keep track of when I'm confident that a solid white line means that there's definitely no progress. When it means no progress for now. Ah, the lasers getting me real stuck. Alright, so there's still a ton of gems down here. I think I've close to exhausted what I can do in the waterways until I get the ability to deal with those lightning bolts. I don't think I'm anywhere near being able to do yet. I can't swim through the poison water, I can't swim through the lava. Those are my main issues at the moment. Been here before. We'll see if there's more water on the bridge here than I missed before, like the last one. Oh, it's all earth. Assuming you don't get any upgrades for running the speedrunning areas, and that the Arcadia guy won't give me his mask. Lets you see ghosts. Very much like that, though. Go to the poison swamp area again. This is promising. Might just be a gem. It's also okay. It was just a gem. You know, there's a secret in that forest in the corner. Check edges wherever possible. Southwest Nook is done. Broken Bridge goes to the desert. I guess I didn't double check the secret desert area. I'll do that real quick. There's a dune that you can walk into that maybe there's more to do there. Now that I have the red exclamation point block. There it is. Secret cache. I think this is just the blue orb, right? I guess it was the magic snorkel. Crossing is Dunzo. Culver Bridge is Dunzo. I gotta find one point of progression. I am open to any hints if chat happens to know an area I haven't been to. Please head in that general direction. Okay. Just making sure that the bridge area is all the water's completely investigated. Definitely progress on the waterways area. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna check here again real fast just to make sure there's not something I'm not thinking of. I think that's the Sky Temple. No gems found in Deep Elm Basin. Ugh, everything is terrible. Close the door, you'll let the evil in. Waterways seem like the place that seems most likely to have progress. Should be able to get there from any bridge. Sky Pillars is done. Starlight Terrace is not done. 2 gems that I skipped. Well, that's one. I should be able to get in that door, I think. Alright, double jumping. Alright. Both of those colored orbs. It's beautiful, isn't it? I haven't introduced myself. I'm the astronomer, and this is my observatory. I seem to have misplaced my climbing gloves. Would you do me a favor retrieving them? Last time I remember wearing them was while I was exploring the base of the Sky Pillars to the northwest. Okay, because I already did that. I didn't realize you could get those so late. That you're kind of expected to get the blue and red exclamation point blocks before you get the climbing gloves. I think the climbing gloves are the first upgrade I got. That's pretty crazy. Alright, well that was more gems. Let's come. Let's head back to waterways. Doesn't sound like there's progress there. That's cool. I like that it's that non-linear. They're willing to let you do some cheese with the climbing gloves, which is cool too. Maybe that southeast corner I can get to. Oops. Probably via this bridge through here. Let's search. It's a little bit more southwest than I thought it was going to land me, but I'll look and see what I can find. The intended gear progression order is to do blue orb, red orb, climbing gloves, double jump, snorkel maybe? See what that exit is through the west before I give up in this area. It's a lightning wall that I can't pass. Okay. Passable lightning wall, got it. So exciting, the first time we got into this room and saw these. I think this, yeah, it's just poison water, right? Let's see. Is the waterway progress through some kind of invisible wall somewhere? So it'd have to be, huh? Or through a wall that currently appears to be solid. Just a path I didn't take. Interesting. Is it just one of the many doors? I guess in that case I wouldn't mind if you tell me what general section. In the center. Okay, I'll go check. Whoa. This is weird, Can I hit escape to get out of here? I think I locked up the game by bringing up the map on that page. Let's see what happened. Okay, thanks, game. There's that path straight up that's down and to the left of me, but there's lightning in the way there, at least in the direction I came at it from. So if I come at it from the other direction, I'll let it through. Give that a try. Or one of the lightning bolts disappeared, the other one does not. Okay. You said it's definitely not a door. Oh shit, okay, yeah, thank you. I think I came at this from every other direction so many times I didn't think to come at it from below. So teach me that I can move through the lightning now. This potentially opens up a lot of stuff. Tesla badge absorbs electricity. Sweet. Thank you for the help. So there's one of those in the desert ruins, and a couple other places, but that's one that for sure I can go through now. Let's go to the other marked dead ends. It's just getting through here in general is easier now. I think the door over to the west there is blocked by poison water, so I can't do that yet. Poison water gem. No swimming in toxic waste. And that just goes to subcon. Let me go to the desert ruins real quick. Because I know there's lightning there. This is desert ruins, perfect. Alright, this is the room that's going to require the lens of truth or whatever. Just confirming that I can't fit through it right now. Definitely cannot yet. Excuse you, Mr. Snake. Further back, right? Leap of faith is needed in the Great Hall. Oh, it's just a shortcut. No, it was the one lightning thing that I mentioned that wasn't. That's unfortunate. It's okay. There's still likely other places with lightning. I know there's several in the waterways. One of them probably gates progress of some kind. You tried. Back to subcon, please. Thank you. Yeah, the one in Desert Palace is the only one that I haven't marked right now. Everything else is invisible blocks, special symbols. Sky Pillars is all done. Glacial Palace is done except for the door with the weird symbol. Something there. See there being a secret in one of these walls here, right? It's the Lair of the Hollow King, which I think I need all 6 art pieces to get to. Explore the rest of the waterways to see if I can find A lightning bolt that's blocking my progress down here. I've seen most of the world map at this point. This one's also blocked due to lack of poison water navigation, I think. Yeah, okay. Worth checking. This just gets me a regular key, which is not super exciting, but at least clears out that section of the dungeon. Okay, thanks, Walter. I might ask in a second. I'm gonna see what I can do with the lightning. My only lead on lightning was in the desert ruins, unfortunately. I'm gonna do one quick pass through of all of the waterways, then I'll probably ask for what level it's in. I doubt they'd have two progression upgrades in the same general area, though. Might be an exit up through this way. Maybe there's like a lightning bolt that was previously blocking me. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. This might be good. It's just a gem. No! Every time I get to one, I get all excited. Alright, Walter, what zone is the next bit of progress in? Lakewood. That's true, Ravanon. You're not wrong about that. That was the ultimate bummer. Lakewood. Bridge. Yeah, good call. Actually, this is the first place I went this episode, and I forgot that I left it unfinished right before I started taking notes. A couple areas here that had, I think this one had some invisible blocks in it that I brute forced earlier. This is gonna have to be blocks, right? That or like a space jump kind of a thing. Try going to that one on the left first. Come back this way. This is progress with lava when I eventually get access to it, which I do not have access to it right now. So it must be in the top right corner. Exits. What is even the... I guess there must have been a gem up there before, okay. It's insanely suspicious. Oh, please tell me that this gives me invisible block vision. Make me so happy. Making sure you can't cheese your way up here, I guess. Hey. Looks like it. Mask of the Arcadians. He does have that mask. Fantastic. This is what was written. Heart beats in time with the soundtrack to a fever dream. An awesome cacophony. Solving a muddled memory as I wait for the start. Welcome home. Alright. Felt a presence in the room. Alright, so I have a couple places I can go with invisible blocks. The big one is the desert ruin, so I want to go straight back there while I'm thinking about it. Trying to think about areas that I have a subcon warp to. Did Lakewood Dungeon have a subcon door in it somewhere? I think it may have. I wish the doors were marked on the map. I think it was earlier in the dungeon, maybe. I thought I finished it already, but I'll go check, Rabadon. You might be right. I thought it was the area that I just brute forced it, but maybe you're right that I gave up eventually. Yeah, it was before I started writing the things down. I'll go check. Oh yeah, with all the spikes, you're right. I literally just did that moments ago. I didn't write it down when I got up there. I thought maybe it was I needed to have like a space gem. It's clever. Yeah, you're not guessing at that. That is tricky. But lucky for me, it's kind of forgiving about what it considers to be spikes here. Should have just got the gem and died. It's a good question, Star. Should just jump over the top of the thing and go straight for the gem. Then I can try to get the other things. There we go. Super win the game. Donut blocks. Making sure I've got both upgrades. Here, a gem in here would make perfect sense if that's all you get. The things sink. Okay. So I gotta transition from one side to the other as it climbs. It's tricky. Ride the hot dog. Probably have to go over it again here. Touching the actual thing hurts you. Good to know. I guessed I was gonna have to climb over it the second time. I should have just done it preemptively. But I thought they might like try to double take me out. Got it. Alright, it's almost all the gems. Just 2 gems, but better than nothing. Yeah, you have to win the game was very good. I enjoyed it. I think the last gem here is going to be lava swimming, so let me add that to my list here. Lightning, Lakewood, dungeon, lava swimming. Desert Palace into the door with lightning. I haven't seen other Roman numerals for the bathroom room or whatever it was called. Kit Kat, yeah. Desert Ruins has invisible books. Guessing that's the next piece of progress, at least I hope it is. Always use the gem merchant to send me back to the base town, which has a subcondor. Abracabam. Subcon. Desert Ruins, here we go. Okay, so there were secret scorpions in here the whole time. Gotcha. Really? That's surprising. Definitely fallen on that thing before. Yeah, I see that, but I'm concerned about the other side there. Is there nothing on the other side of the spikes? I thought the spikes would just go up to the ceiling if you couldn't make it over there. It really looks like there's something over there. I think I'm meant to be able to do it yet. It's heart number 4, though. Probably just general areas I have to explore now. Still need 1 gem, and it's probably with lava swimming. The mask doesn't work on the door with the weird symbol, right? That's something else. Head back up to Subcon. I'm hoping that every dungeon in the game that has an item that you need another item to get to, Nice Palace was door with weird symbol. I'm hoping that every dungeon in the game like that also has a gem that's in the same area, so you can tell if something's done or not by the gem completion count. But I don't know if that's the case. This might do something in the Baffle Palace, but maybe Sky Pillars will get me up to that corner. Now that I have the invisible blocks, maybe there was some up here. Possibly not. I'll see if there's anything that it unlocks here. I've only seen the 1 Roman numeral so far. I already got through that door. Forget if there was a number in the first game or not. Curious to see how far it counts above 27, right? Guess they set it up so that the correct door you could just guess if you just read the sign on all of them. You don't have to have seen 27 to know to stop there, right? Did that already. 28. This blocks be hard to see. But there'd almost certainly be one here in the House of Baffle. So you get to Hell Temple in Loma Milano. It's like a specific sequence. I never did that content. 38. 40. 42 should be a thing. I wonder if I can go up a room. Nope. Never mind. Oh, an infinite lava pit screen for that new screen. Oh shit. Didn't think to check this last time. That's a secret gem. That's pretty sweet. And a secret door. Don't remember how I got here. That's pretty cool. Oh, fuck this room. Can I ride the turtle all the way across? If you want 100% gem completion, you just have to hate yourself, basically. No, turtle. Not reaching it. Oh, did they simplify it on the Switch? How much did they simplify it? It's really surprising to me. All it really needs is the infinite ability to store clues, and I think that makes it completely fair. Infinite ability to store clues and the ability to search keyword text on them. Sorry. We're gonna die at the end of this. I mean it. This is bad. Look out! Oh god. Thanks for the sign. It's just the same room. I wonder if I could have cheated by going back to the other side. Change the jump back 2 pixels. Interesting. I really like La Milana. I would love to play it again. Search for any excuse I can to play it again. Oh hey, that was all the gems in House of Baffle. Cool. So I guess there's not another one that's bound to a specific Roman numeral. Yeah, it's less bad than the braid cloud. Oof. Jonathan Blow has contempt for his audience. I think he's a great creator. I love his games, but he doesn't love us. How far do you think you could push it without it stopping to be fun? Yeah, it's an interesting question. Do I have enough upgrades to get access to all of the heart pieces yet? Guessing the answer is no. Pretty sure the Ice Palace, I need to do the door with the weird symbol. Progress. Need more upgrades. Okay. It's cool that they released both of them. I saw they were pushing La Milana. I saw they were pushing La Milana in the ads of GDQ. I'm like, wow, that's a interesting game to try to sell to a bigger audience. Its inaccessibility is kind of what I love about it, but okay, well, at this point, to progress, I'm just going to have to revisit every map I've been to, because I didn't take any other notes on places that might have invisible blocks, so I hate to keep doing this. I guess I would just Google it if I was playing it offline. What's the name of a zone that I can go to for more progress? Really? Okay, I wouldn't have thought Sky Palace, so big it was done. Thanks. GDQ's the one big event that makes sense. I suppose that's true, yeah. Yeah, gems might not be useful for telling me where I still have progress. Which is unfortunate. First things first, I thought I could do something up here. Doesn't look like it. Let's try going to that open spot down there. Insane archaeologist convention. Oh, it's just an exit. We're coming down here a long time ago. Basically like the infamous room in V6, right? The room that would be trivial if only you could jump, but you can't. So you have to like loop all the way around this giant puzzle. I don't remember any of the level design of V6. I remember Positive Force and that room. Wow. Oh, they've got a new website. That's why the bot didn't auto-ban. Absolutely. It's still a impressive and fun game to play through. Last time I played it was when it came out. Oh, look, there's the mask. That's clever. And it says 2727 on there. Because that's another source of... little 27 indicator. In case you didn't see it on the other screen, it's cool. I wonder if that means bring the mask to the 27 area. I can try doing that too. Excuse you. Definitely a different way of playing video games, right? I think I already rode the hot dog at the top of the screen. Oh, it's around the top of that, maybe. Okay. Don't think I had double jump last time I rode this thing. Shit. I'm gonna have to get on the back wall, hang out for a second, and then jump back over onto it. Usually a category that bans bullshit. Yeah. Okay, now I have to jump to the wall from the hot dog. Okay, this is tricky. Oh no! I can't get up there, right? I will watch a glitchy any percent run, but I would definitely ultimately prefer the glitchless run if I'm gonna watch it more than once. The glitchy run is like an oddity for me. No, there's nothing up there. That makes me so sad. I get all the way up top. Yeah, definitely believe that was a secret. I'm kind of sad that it appears that it was not a secret. There's an invisible ceiling up there. So maybe this just means go back down there and go in the 27th door. Over that way, it just goes back to the subcon door. That image there is the mask that I picked up. The Arcadian mask. I already did some shenanigans here before, a while ago. Jumped across the pillars when I technically wasn't supposed to, I think. Right, I can only jump once after I fall off. Okay. Shoot. I think this is a really stupid way to get to a place that I can get to directly from the subcon warp. Unless if that's all... Yeah, I came up here before because I remember seeing it and thinking there were invisible blocks there. So we did that a while ago. I think I just guessed where the jump locations were. But from here I don't see any more of them. All of these with the mask? Or you just drop straight down, basically, right? You found me. Your journey's nearing its end. It's unfortunate that I came here earlier, right? Perhaps you've seen doors bearing our mark during your travels. If I hadn't have come here sooner, I would have seen that upper section of the map as not complete. Bob will unlock those doors. Fishing village. Retrieve the broken pieces of his heart. Thanks, dude. But he's also invisible, apparently. I already did the sleepy time effect with that. Okay. So Dora's weird symbols are in the Ice Palace and the Fishing Village. I think the one in the Ice Palace is just going to be a jewel. Hopefully I'm set now for not needing progress hints. That one was unfortunate that I happened to guess that a way to get to that door when we first saw it. Because I don't think the door itself was invisible, it was just the blocks to get to the door. So when I was dicking around earlier, I totally found my way there. Hard progression block, just for people like me who did it anyway, right? It's gonna be poison immunity. Hey, it's the prawn. This thing was in the original You Have to Win the Game. First pass was pretty good. I was pretty happy with it. Steel skin catalyst makes caustic substances safe for swimming. Sweet. A nameless sadness pervades this place. It's interesting. Dang it, I keep jumping higher than I think I'm gonna jump. There's the gem. Great fish lives in the waterways. I really do like that they let you do stuff with the invisible blocks before you're supposed to be able to. I guess I could have finished the one in the desert ruins, because I actually did land on that donut block. I just thought it was a disappearing block instead of a donut block. So I didn't try to do anything further when I first landed on it. But I should have just checked the minimap. I think the trick of that area is they make it look like you can jump over to the other side, and I don't know that you can. I think the only place in the game that has poison water is the waterways right now. There's definitely lots of locations with lava. Ice Palace is in the northeast corner, if I recall. Alright, 1 sec. Okay, so it's in here somewhere. One of these rooms had a door with the freaky symbol. Yeah, so I've talked to the fortune teller before. Are there hints formatted, like which areas you should go to? I guess it effectively ended up doing the same thing, if that's the case. Which is fine. Time's a little bit more obtuse. Okay. That's cool that that's the lightning trick the whole time. Down here into the... a little weird door. Guessing this is just the last gem. Oh, there's a book here too. That seems significant. Read from the book. This is what was written. Clockmakers fretted and fussed when I ran a little too fast. They cast a blind eye to my hands, turning in opposite directions. Yeah, I do kind of miss from the original You Have to Win the Game is all the cheeky, like, screen names. Don't go left. It's a safe place. They won't find me here. The worst thing I could ever be is vulnerable. Thanks, game. To that subcon door. Waterways, please. think we're along the bottom. Oops. Something was blocked by lava in the liquid dungeon as well, right? Yeah, okay, I got that written down. Be that big fish. This is like deep Sekiro lore. The dead carp at the bottom of the lake. This is what was written. Really getting the hang of this. Just remember the things I showed you. Telling me how to walk? Interesting. Good, that's really good. This is the very beginning of the game, right? I don't think they actually had me do this. Watch out for that bat. This is like Undertale now, right? Holding my hand. Yay, you did it. So you're like, no, I can do this myself. I know you can. Go get him. Okay. Still more to do with poison in here, I think. At least one area off to the west. I don't think I've seen any poison water outside of the waterways. I guess we'll find out soon enough. That's interesting with the fortune teller mechanic. Something maybe it's Link to the Past did it to me, but I feel like if I recall correctly, the Link to the Past fortune teller was pretty useless, and so a game really has to like underscore the usefulness of the fortune teller for me to bother. I walked past the door multiple times. I think I talked to her one time this episode in one of the towns. Let's see if this is a shortcut. Nope. It is not. This is all a dead end on this side of the waterways, so maybe I have to come in here from a different direction. I'm trying to remember what the Link to the Past fortune teller even is able to tell you that's ever helpful. I want to say it was kind of like the random NPCs and the secret walls and stuff in the original Zelda, that the localization was so janky that if they were ever helpful in some ancient, or in the original Japanese iteration of the game, they're not at all helpful in the English version. Eastern Peninsula holds the secret? Like, what are they talking about? Link's Awakening had a useless hit mechanic. Link's Awakening definitely felt like another one you could get pretty reasonably stuck in. Just now enjoying the era of sight-readable Zelda games. probably starts with Ocarina of Time. I'd have to think about it. There's still a couple tricky things in Ocarina that you get stuck on. The game generally tries to send you where you're supposed to go. Link to the Past is my favorite Zelda by far, but there's definitely a couple places where people tend to get stuck. All that for a gem? Ugh, so much space. Alright, well I can probably go to the Hell area now. I'll go try to do that. At least the waterways are done, at least in terms of gems. I can be reasonably certain that you've got the double jump and the wall climb if you're here. Yeah, telling you the thing you just figured out and not the next thing you need. The raft can take you over water. It's like, yeah, I got that. I just unlocked it and used it to come talk to you. Shit. Out of here. Try to head to a town so that we can get teleported to Lava Zone. Curious if the Arcadian says anything now that I've got his mask. Okay, nope. Talos Principle is the one where, like, other players are able to help, but the way that they're able to do it is, like, insanely obtuse. It's very possible that a normal player will never figure out how it's supposed to work. I need lava swimming to do the very next room. Oh, it works for lava swimming. Okay, it just said caustic, I didn't think they meant lava as well. That's cool. That means I've got a couple places in the overworld I need to head back to. Glad I checked. I thought this was going to be a separate effect. What is the built-in system in Talos Principle? I don't even remember now that you mention it. It's kind of unfortunate that it's so easy to get stuck in that game, because it's super good. The idea that a player might get stuck and never finish it makes me very sad. I guess it's a more recent game, so it's probably more likely that someone that's frustrated would just look up a walkthrough. It's interesting that as games have gotten... or has it gotten easier to look up things if you get stuck? Games are generally better about being sight-readable. Shit. My slow movement speed is killing me right now. Don't know if they always launch on the same basic tiles here. There's always some safe tiles. Well, this is good. Just keep going. There you go. Oh, 2 locks. Nice. Whew. Achievement unlocked. Primarily Ruby and Python. You can't see it because it's being cut off, but... Am I supposed to have another ability to be able to get out of here? Guess the name of the stage is Welcome to Oblivion. Oh, there we go. I needed to jump at the right angle. I was pretty nervous that I had soft locked for a second there. I'm gonna get out of here real quick because there's a couple places with lava that I want to check out. Desert Palace and Lakewood Dungeon. I didn't write down which part the lava was in, so it might take me a second to track down. I think it was actually outside the ruins. If I can get there, less effort. Collect all the stars, you unlock a new zone with a few additional puzzles, and once you complete those, you unlock a dude that will give you hints in the main stages. So you have to do the really hard stuff to get hints for the easy stuff? That's questionable. So I think it was on the way in to the ruins. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Hey, I remembered correctly. Good job, past me. Caution, lava is hot. Okay. A novel area, that's cool. Eyeball boss. That was a pretty good attempt. Used to be a player? Really? Bullet hell on. I probably should just go once I get under him. I love that this style of enemy survived from you have to win the game. I'll just try to stay directly beneath him. I don't think he shoots straight down. Yeah, it might be safe to stay directly below him. Let's try that. I have to wait until he's about to fall on my head, and then I think I can go. Yeah, I like that screen shake on landing. That's a good call. It's definitely the right call. I gotta be Willing to not jump the gun, though. Read from the book, yes. They don't fit in my eyes, they don't fit in my eyes, they don't fit in my eyes. A full jump. Fried electronic hot metal held next to the skin, burning and scarring, but already scarred and numb to the rasp. Thirst will never be quenched, never be. When can I sleep? Why don't I dream? There's another exit from here that I kind of want to check out. See where this puts me. What does it call the dungeon entrance? Just make there's not something. I'm sure there's not something on this side wall here, right? Okay, so this is another way I could have gotten into the lava. Gotcha. So the last lava area that I marked is in the Lakewood dungeons. I'll try to head back to that real quick. And then I'll finish up the lava zone. Knock on wood, but no Comcast issues today. My new Comcast contact has been very, very nice. He responded to my emails yesterday about the outages. Still trying to get the paperwork into our HOA to dig up the old cable, but I'm a big fan of writing emails and then deleting them and never sending them. Just as like a therapeutic thing, and I've definitely written a couple emails to my HOA president and then deleted them. Alright, let's go... Lakewood, I think I've got a shortcut to. What is this one, I think? Yes, perfect. I think the lava was actually somewhat close to this warp too, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I think it's west from here. Didn't deserve to live there. I would have loved if Talos Principle had like full-on Dark Souls style asymmetric hint leaving. It seems like it was almost that, but not anywhere near close enough to being that. Alright, so I suspected that lava swimming would be a unique ability separate from acid swimming, but it is not, which I guess makes sense. Can you kill me, fish? Thank you. So there's only a slot for one more upgrade. Oh god. Jesus, okay. This is a room. It's actually not as complicated as I thought it was. Hey, it's another heart. So I need one more, and I'm guessing it's in lava. Dwarf City. Speaking of games not being sight readable, remember the part in Final Fantasy IV where you have to drop the key in the fucking well? And the original localization of the game gives you, like, no information to that effect? The GBA one hints at it quite a bit. Final Fantasy IV was a rental game for me. I don't think I ever owned it as a kid. I think I probably was stuck there for an entire rental cycle. Stream failure to signposts. Might have been Nintendo Power, yeah. I feel like that strategy or that kind of gamer experience back in the day, there's several games that you pretty much needed Nintendo Power to have any hope of playing. I'm curious what the fortune teller says here. I've never owed a debt. Someone in Simmons community knows the way. There's that NPC that tells you where the general locations are. I guess this is the one that's this far underground. It's almost certainly makeable. How dare you, game? Oh wow, the only thing here is the secret, it looks like. That's kind of cool. So if there's an exit in that lower right corner. Ha. How dare you, game. I guess that I like that about this world, basically. It's all cool secrets like these. I think I really like that about this game. The secrets are really easy to sight read. I don't think I've gotten stuck because I didn't try walking through a wall or something. It's just been like not wanting to go back through and revisit every zone, right? Never fades to gray. And it looks like there's multiple ways to do it, like multiple locks that go to the same area, so if you can't find one in a difficult area, you can get it in the other one, maybe? Ah, fuck that bottom one. This is kind of a classic, brutal platformer sequence here. What's the Mega Man Robot Master in Mega Man 2 that has this area that you're falling down and these lasers are dropping on you and it's really hard to sight read? Practically just have to memorize it. Fuck. Quick Man. That last section, I wonder if I don't even have to jump, if I can just like let off the wall and hold the direction over. That's the part I need to practice. The rest of this isn't actually too hard. Shit. I'm gonna die here more than any other challenge in the game. I'm feeling it. Let's take it slow. It was just hold right. Called it. Cool. The top 75% of the screen doesn't matter, yeah. Only there's a thing around the way there. Tons of gems as well. I'm guessing this is like a ceiling thing. Hold on. Yeah. Oh. Oh, that's different than what I thought it was going to be. Isn't Lana Lana, you can't slide past the tops of spikes. I don't think I had an intuition for that even after playing Lana Lana for several dozen hours, that like, you could walk alongside spikes as long as you didn't touch the spiky part of them. You didn't come at them perpendicularly, I should say. Yeah. If you forget that, there's a couple areas where it really matters. Seriously, game? Got there and was mashing down, but it didn't let me drop.
You getting the things?
I'm getting the things.
Good job.
How are you doing, Andrew?
That's the point of this game, right?
Oh, you've got a green shirt again.
Oh yeah, is it gonna... It's just gonna be great, because it's light green. So... Yeah, check out my Badass Samurai Punk shirt.
It's pretty cool. It's like the sound effects bot died at some point. Cool. Imagine you're hearing it. There it is.
Hey, Andrea's here.
Here we go. First try.
Here comes science.
Oh, this looks like Battle Kit.
Yeah, it's
I mean, right, because it's retro, it's
not unreasonable to compare it to Battle Kit. Core gameplay is
Battle
pretty
Kit.
simple.
Here comes the Battle Kid. It's time for Battle Kid. Isn't that what your song was?
Yeah. That game.
Yeah, Battle Kid's pretty... Well, I'll never play it, but it's good for him. He likes hard games.
Got that for me on cartridge.
I did. Happy birthday, or whatever holiday it was.
How are you handling quarantine, Andrea?
Huh? Fine, I just took a nap.
I know. Okay, thought I skipped one. Happy whatever holiday.
Whatever holiday, I don't remember. It was a holiday. Probably. What do the bells do? Save?
Yeah, it's checkpoint. Exactly.
You really needed that bell. Is that? Oh no, it was a chicken at first.
It's a demon head. Alright, I can get out of here now, I think.
Aw.
I already used my double jump. Had you saying "aw" like Zoidberg when the
Aw.
is Slinky.
Yeah, this Slinky gets
He bends it,
unbent into just a
wire basically.
yeah. Zoidberg. Or like the professor takes his money.
Well, the best part is he fixes it and then it just bursts into flames for no reason.
Oh,
And Zoidberg gets a happy ending.
me too. He deserves one.
Well, you read from the book. Yes, this is what was written. I rose and turned to face that presence, knowing instinctively what I would see. Lucidity achieved.
What's the line in the Mummy? No harm ever came from reading a book.
Exactly what I'm
They
doing.
begin the work in the Mummy by
Clean
reading
this
a
up
book.
as I go. Ooh, he's in color now. It's the first time that's happened. It's supposed to go the other way. This doesn't feel right either. Let's turn around right away when it said that. Kitties are cleaning each other. You see that? See if I can get it. If I move too much, they get excited about getting fed and then stop doing whatever deep thing they're doing. Aw. Brothers. I was able to be gentle enough that they didn't freak out and think they were about to
Yeah,
get
well
fed.
done.
Well, it doesn't mean to return to the dungeon entrance after all that. Okay. It's so clean. Note to self, this seems an ideal hiding spot.
So what can you do with your mind now?
Can I do it with my mind?
Didn't the book say you can like move things with your mind?
It's an interesting point. Turn this off so I can... Thieves Landing. I still need to get the last heart piece, and I assume it's underground here somewhere. What was the last door that I opened? Then on every other island, I think. Last hurrah, I got all 6. Uncertainty was 0. There wasn't one in an earlier part of the stage. Maybe I opened something in the town itself?
Oh, that's a callback to Link to the Past 2. Or
Zelda 2.
Zelda 2.
Yeah. Have you played Zelda 2?
Just like an hour of it.
And you were like, nope.
Yeah. But I played enough to visit the kind lady who healed me.
Just check all these really quick to make sure there's not one that I left unfinished.
I thought there was.
5.
I saw one that was 108 over 124 though.
Oh, that's my total
Oh.
gems across the whole game.
Yeah.
There's only 28 games remaining. Got that one already. Refleeting memory. Last hurrah. Uncertainty. Did get the secret, I think. This room just had a gem in it. Is there a secret heart piece in one of these maps? I assume there has to be, right? Trying to like drop down. See if there's any like piezo blocks. Kitties, be nice to each other. I think I've read all the books in the game. Maybe there's a secret tile I can walk on.
It's very kind of them to not have you just fall in the lava.
Yeah, right. So see, I'm guessing the fortune teller is just going to say, there's an NPC in the main town that knows where all the heart pieces are. Just the waterways. One in the south, east, and west, 2 in the north, 1 deep underground. That's the one that I'm at, is deep underground. Someone in Simmons knows the way, be persistent. Alright, did anyone in chat happen to know, is it in fact in this underground area? I think I've got all the gems down here. The only area that should have it, it's not in the underworld area. This place just exists for gems then? Surprising since I needed all the things to get here. Like what else could count as deep underground? Just flavorful. I'll go do the baffle thing again, because I haven't done that in a while.
Oh, does it give you hints?
There was a sign that had the mask, that mask in the lower right corner, and it said 27. And when I went there last time, I didn't have the mask. Deep Underground was the waterways one. Okay, I wonder which one I'm missing then. Let's do this real quick since I saw the 27 number with the mask next to it.
Man, you got a long way to fall.
Should be 13. $26. Okay, one more. 27.
Did you have to go in all of them until you found something useful?
No, there's a clue elsewhere that had 27 as a Roman numeral.
Okay.
Steam has progressive hints guides for the hearts. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that one that was in the water was on the bridge area. That one was really cool. I'm glad that I organically found almost all of them. No idea which one I'm missing though. I haven't tracked where I've got the ones that I got already. Yeah, it's just an exit. So I guess having the mask doesn't help in there. Glacial Palace should pretty much be done.
Are you running the dishwasher?
No,
Do you hear that sound?
it's hard drive.
Really?
Yeah,
Man, thing's working hard.
that's just an exit from the map. I assume almost all the hard pieces are secret walls that I can't see otherwise. I already got the one that was in here. Yeah, I'll try looking up that Steam guide here in a second.
So does this thing have like a mode where if you don't die at all, you get a special reward?
I think it tracks your death count, so it's possible to do a deathless playthrough if you're crazy good. Oh, thanks, Walter. Good looking out. Spare me having to Google it. It's Lava and Liquid Dungeon. I got that one. In the Great Hall in the Desert Ruins. Okay, I got that one already. Ground Beneath the Sky Pillars. That was one I got super early. I really like that one. Got the one that was in the snowstorm. Lake of Icy Water I did. Subterranean Waterways.
Really excited you fixed this chair arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny, you sit in it like once and you're like, yep, I'm gonna fix that. And I'm just like, yep, I'm just gonna deal with it.
And the arm is sliding off and you need to get a bolt to screw together.
Dylan's a doer.
I thought I got the one in the Subterranean Waterways. Maybe I didn't. Alright, this might be the one that I'm missing. I gotta go much further to the east, though. Bridge by Lakewood is close. Okay.
Walter, is this your game? Is this Walter's game?
Game Saucers.
Nice, man. You guys all know about many more games than I do. Whenever people always ask me, I say Dylan's a streamer, like, oh, what does he play? And I'm like, he's a variety streamer, so he plays a bunch of stuff like
Difficult question to answer.
Mario and Zelda. And if their eyes are glazed over, I just stop. Like, okay. But then some people who are really into games are like, oh, did he play Oki in the Forest or whatever the game that
Ori in the Blind Forest.
Ori in the Blind Forest. And I'm like, maybe, probably. He has a YouTube channel. You can check that out.
You could look it up. Go to Marstead.com.
Yeah, or
Games database right there. You've got a phone with you. You could always check.
well, not when I'm in the back.
Oh, I see. I mean, maybe I did, but the description of where it says it is doesn't seem familiar. I guess we'll find out here in a second. Yeah, because it's this new poison water area.
You don't die in the poison water.
I have a upgrade that makes it so I don't.
Such a funny looking fish. That's awesome. Big fan.
You like the goofy fish?
Yeah. Aw.
Sure.
Fish with a huge, like, what is it, overbite?
It's an underbite.
It's an underbite, my bad. I guess that makes sense. For some reason, his front teeth are longer than the other ones.
sexy.
Ooh, tartar sauce.
Did I really just get to a dead end here and give up? I must have gotten down here and gotten the gems and been like, oh, that must be it.
Lightning doesn't hurt you?
I have an upgrade that makes it not hurt me.
Good. But apparently not goofy-looking fish. You need the goofy-looking fish upgrade.
This is the one hidden wall that I didn't check. Yeah, right. Used to hurt me. Dysrhythmia achievement unlocked. Okay.
Aw.
What a secret.
Did you do that on purpose so you didn't have to go all the way back?
That's correct.
Cheater. So lazy.
Thanks for that guide, Walter. I would have considered this place done.
Oh, you're just missing a heart container? You're missing some gems.
I'm missing gems. They're probably in the final area. I needed to get 6 pieces of the Hollow King's heart to go to the final area.
I see. And that was number 6?
That was number 6, that's right.
Oh, wow. That's so you have to get all of them.
Yeah.
Watch out for the goofy fish.
Pretty hidden.
This game doesn't mess around.
I feel like the progressive hint guide is like by zone.
/ I would like to thank everyone in Discord for the interesting discussions about statistical significance.
Yeah,
and how to
fun
interpret
time.
it. I had a great time. I'm really excited that you guys thought my plots. I mean, maybe you didn't, but a couple of you thought my plots were interesting.
Very interesting.
I'm gonna present them next week at our collaboration meeting.
Cool.
Yeah, which is actually funny. Do you think they care? I'm gonna tell you anyways. Okay,
Go for it. I'm just heading.
we're so I work on a detector called Hawk, High Altitude Water Cherngov Observatory, and what it is 300 giant tanks of water, and it's up pretty high at like what is it, 14,000 feet, so 4,100 meters. And what happens is a gamma ray comes in, it hits the atmosphere and interacts and makes a spray of particles. So like it makes a particle and then that particle hits another particle, makes another particle, and you just kind of get this, branching tree of particles. And then those hit the tanks, and since they're traveling faster than the speed of light, they give off this blue light in the tank of water called Cherenkov radiation, thus the C in Hawk. Anyway, it gives off a flash of blue light. We've got little photosensors in there. Photosensors detect the blue light, how many tanks get hit, how bright the signal was, the timing of how it hit the tanks tells us the energy and where it came from. Anyway, so it's a gamma ray detector. You just kind of sit there and you collect all these gamma rays from the universe, and then you make a map of them, and then you try to analyze the map and figure out stuff about where they came from. Yay. Science. And so we want to so Hawk is near Puebla, Mexico. So it's in the northern hemisphere. I mean, it's south, but it's still in the northern hemisphere, so it can't see really interesting regions like the center of the Milky Way, galactic center. Galactic center is really interesting, especially because it has lots of dark matter. And so we want to take Hawk and build another one in the southern hemisphere, but because it's a new one, the way it works in physics is you have to make it bigger, so we're wanting to make this one in the southern hemisphere 10 times bigger. Okay. Roundabout way of saying we want to make a new detector that's 10 times bigger than the one we're using right now. Got some backstory to that. So the new one is going to be slightly different, and so people are trying to work on a simulation of, what it would see. So they, simulate gamma rays, and then they say oh, how many did the detector see, and how good did it see? Did it reconstruct the energy, and how good did it reconstruct the direction it came from? And so you need to take those detailed simulations and do a analysis of what you expect to see. And so we don't have those yet. The simulations group has been working very hard, but not really producing things. So what I did is we have an analysis software for the Hawk data, the original 300 tank array. And what I did is in that data, in that analysis stuff, you can make a simulation. So you can give it a model and then you say, okay, make a simulation of this. And then you can run that simulation as you would normal Hawk data and see what you get. Great. So what I did is I just took that simulation and there's a total duration variable. I just multiplied that variable by 10. Because I was like, well, the southern one's going to be 10 times bigger than Hawk. So let's just pretend it's basically Hawk, but 10 times the exposure. Right? Makes sense, right? Because I don't have the simulation, so I can't do it for realsies. So I'm hoping that I'm going to present this, and I hope people are going to be like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. We really need to get those simulations out. Or else people are going to do stupid shit like what Andrea did.
Is this the Fire Realm that they're talking about? I assume it is, but the only area that I've been to that's locked out doesn't look like there's anything for me to do here. I wish you good luck in your endeavors.
Thank you. Yes. So basically, I'm gonna go to this collaboration meeting. I'm really hoping someone listens to my talk and goes, "That's really dumb. You should do this better." And then I'll be like, "I agree."
It's one of those things where a lot of what you do is very complicated math, and when it seems that the answer is multiply the old thing by 10, that seems too simple to be right.
Exactly. But I'm just like, well, let's just pretend we built Hawk again, but it ran for 10 times the exposure. Isn't that like the same thing as being 10 times bigger? Question mark. And the nice thing about that is I got to use all of the, they're called instrument response functions. So it's how good the energy resolution is, how good the spatial resolution is, what the effective area is.
Thanks for having on. I forgot that was there, but I assumed that, like, Lava World was more of a fire realm than a little town up here. Carry on, sorry. Carry on.
No. Six Guns got it. Someone's like, oh shit, this is what you're reduced to because I haven't done my job? Oh god, I better get off my ass. But I will say, in doing it, I made some really useful parts of code to calculate the signal I'm expecting to see. So it won't be a waste, basically.
See a 6-gun.
Betas.
Now, what everyone just agrees with your findings and moves forward based on them. I guess that means a lot of smart people will agree, yeah, it was alright to just multiply it by 10. So Andrew will feel less scared of that being a stupid, possibly wrong solution. Right? Problems like that are interesting, where you expect it to be very complicated and it turns out it's not.
You have a lava upgrade?
I sure do.
It's like, does anything hurt you besides the goofy fish?
They have a weakness against goofy fish. It's like, remember in Unbreakable? It's weak against water.
Yeah.
Here we go. Lair of the Hollow King. Whoops. Hey, I was able to...
Nice. Ooh, that looks... Ah. Oh, okay, so it's animals. You need an animal upgrade. Or a spiky thing upgrade. Can you get like an impale upgrade? Where you don't get impaled?
That'd be nice. That is in some Metroidvanias.
Really?
Yeah, actually the very first...
Like impenetrable armor, whatever
It's
the word is.
Spike Breaker armor in Symphony of the Night. When you touch the spikes, they are destroyed. It's one of the weirdest progression items in that game. I just need to drop down into the thing.
This looks really hard.
It's not easy.
You have to go back? Congratulations. Way to get past that first part. Way to look for secrets.
So I'm supposed to put all the... Okay, those things are open because I have all the heart pieces. Gotcha.
Oh.
It's the Hollow King. Why have you come so far, Wayfarer? There's nothing for you.
Do you have some jams?
You're that troublemaker I've been hearing so much about. You found all the pieces of the king's heart, and I hid them so well, too. Never get close enough to return the king's heart. There's my subcon. Oh, I guess not. It does not open from this side.
I will say, the soundtrack is solid, but I've yet to... Battle Kids was really good, wasn't it?
You haven't heard of Banger yet?
Banger, yeah, that's basically it. Or like, you know, WWW, which is...
You're being silly.
I'm being stupid.
You're so silly.
That one had fantastic music.
The original, You Have to Win the Game didn't have any music, so it's an improvement to have any in the first place. Alright, random warping level. Great. Okay, so I'll be missing 3 gems by the time I finish this song. That's not bad for a blind playthrough. Yeah. Positive forces are shit. Passion
This
blue.
actually sounds like something Jay could have written. Our nephew Jaden, he's a composer.
Poor Jayden.
I
think he's better than this song.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
He
Well, I just thought you were just like shitting on the game's music, and then you're like, Jay could have written this, and I'm like, oh, poor Jay.
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, I guess before that I was thinking like, you know what, this is, you know, 2 simple ideas repeated, and that's a lot of what Jay likes to do. Now, Jay is better than that. No, is that?
No, it's literally not what he. That's the problem with Jay, is he can't just like stick to one thing. He keeps coming up with so many things that he doesn't just stop a song.
The sign off and the intro to the channel, just to show you how good he is. But you know, being able to do something simple is also important.
Yeah. His music is super good, but he'll have like 30 ideas that could all be their own song in one song, and he was almost unwilling to
He used to
repeat.
be refined.
Well, no, they're all good, but he's unwilling to repeat.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
He has like a philosophy that he doesn't want to have like a chorus that just plays over and over, which is very admirable. Right?
Didn't he do some early stuff that was just short little things? Like, do you remember his little snow level jingle?
That was my song. That was bad.
I'm sorry, I'm just...
You're conflating Jaden with
Whatever.
my
Jaden's awesome, and he writes really good music. I could totally see him writing something like this, which is... doesn't mean that he's only capable of writing something like this. I'm sorry. I've just dug myself into a hole and I should just lie in it.
You're good.
Eat the dirt. Contemplate my life decisions.
I just don't know if you remember the last time you listened to Jaden's music. I think you're remembering my Pixie Tracker stuff on my phone.
Liked those, by the way.
Oh, you're kind of so.
There was one that sounded a lot like Crash Bandicoot.
I didn't even notice there's a second exit over here. Oh, but it's pointless. Okay.
Oh god, nice.
Where everything's sort of different shades of red.
Oh, it's like that. You guys seen that Mario hack You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The Impossible Mario, and the guy's like,
It was on you, Mario.
it's really funny. He's like, alright, we're gonna play some Mario. Okay, here we go, and then he jumps and this block appears and he crashes down and falls, and he's like, what's that?
That was my first time seeing a Kaizo level. It was pretty.
Oh, it's so funny.
Hi, Ben. I love you too.
But yeah, like, he misses a jump once. Like, normally he'll be like, yo, that was my bad, but he's like, no, that one's on you, Mario. Oh, that's Kaizo's his name?
No. Kaizo
It's
is
the game.
the type of Mario hack.
But it's also fun to watch him learn and, like, you know, pull off some really cool things while providing colorful commentary.
I have to drop down onto that. No shit. That works.
And so Nintendo was like, you know what, people are hacking our game to do this, why don't we just make a game where they can do this more easily? And thus, Mario Maker.
It's not inaccurate.
Oh, Slash, I think tomorrow, now I know, and I'm disappointed too, but I think that the, you know, let's stream together movies is a great idea, and we got a developer's ear, so hopefully they'll make some changes, but right now we can't really do the
Talking about Twitch Watch Party?
Twitch Watch Party, right? So I was gonna watch TNG blind, I've never seen it, with my colorful commentary, but I think what we want to do is tomorrow I'll watch it and I will just provide my commentary, and that's the only thing that you'll see, so you'll just have to like hit play at the right time if you want to watch it and watch me.
You can stream it over Discord and record the commentary for YouTube separately.
Right, but we can't post it to YouTube because of copyright, right?
I can record just your commentary
Right, exactly.
as an audio file,
Yep.
and then we can stream the episode on Discord.
Oh, all right. So anyway, I am pro. I think I'd like to try to
People
do
can
that.
see it live, and they don't have to sync it, but then if they wanted to watch it after the fact, they would have to manually sync it like any other.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Okay, cool. So anyway, I'd like to do that tomorrow. Is that okay?
Sure.
I don't know when. We'll post in Discord. It depends on when I wake up. We've only done the one watch party, and the problem was that you need to have a Prime subscription, and also a lot of our international people, so like people in Austria and people in New Zealand, they couldn't watch that video in their region even if they had Prime. So the
Everyone
number
watching has to be in the same region that the material is allowed in.
yeah.
And you couldn't
So the
even
number
join
of
chat.
people who could have participated was like 5, where there was like maybe 25 people who wanted to participate, and so we were like, oh, okay, this just isn't ready for us.
Sick. Sometimes I think I might just wake up one day, pen the great Arcadian novel, and go back to sleep. But probably not.
But yeah, one of our viewers got a
My
random...
masterpiece filed away in a dusty cabinet in a forgotten corner of my mind. Its label read, "Some purple prose about death and dreams." Don't want to return to the dungeon entrance just yet, I don't think. Unless if I can't get out of here by other means. Yeah, the main stressful part of it is that, like... Oh, I got another NPC here. Someday we may dance among the stars, but until then we can pen our first fiction based on lies and truth. And painful addiction, climbing like ivy, twisting. You should go. Okay. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, I think it was Chaos got a random pop-up that was like, oh, you enjoy your experience? And he's like, no. And so this,
Jake.
yeah, mid-level guy from Amazon popped in and we chatted with him for like 45 minutes. Actually, I think the video's on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
If you want to see
So the VOD is on Twitch.
Okay, yeah, if you want to see us trying to make this thing work and then complaining about it. The dude was super receptive though, so
Yeah, it was nice.
respect.
I think I was able to give him some good UAT feedback too. The main issue is, like, I get that copyright is a mess and requiring everyone watching to have Amazon Prime. Like, I think it's fine if you're a giant Twitch streamer and, like, it's a special
You deal
thing
with
to be
only
able
like
to join
15% of your viewers can. But apparently those that can also have a synchronization issue. And that was another thing, nitpicky, but like if I paused it, the other people's just kept going. So we got completely out of sync.
Not being able to globally pause is a deal breaker for the way that you comment on stuff. Even when we just watch TV, you pause it almost constantly to talk about it.
But we were saying that it's a very good idea and we're excited to see it get better.
Yeah.
Because I love watching movies and giving commentary. I do that all the time. Dylan thinks I'm funny, so
funny.
maybe y'all will think I'm funny. Let's see.
Different way to get over to that side, I guess.
Ah, couldn't hide from the bat, Dylan. So yeah, TNG tomorrow at some point we'll post in Discord. I've never seen it before. Apparently season 1 is supposed to be risky. They took a lot of risks. No.
Yeah. For the YouTube VOD, that's just going to be the commentary for people to watch after the live Discord stream. We'll display the time code from the show for syncing. It should be very doable. Yeah, that's where the phrase "growing the beard" comes from.
Riker is his name?
That's correct.
Unfortunately, oh, it's funny. We were watching the Half in the Bag. Do you guys know Half in the Bag? It's amazing. I've been watching a ton of it lately. It's these two guys, and they basically talk about movies and shit. So they're talking about the Picard show, and one of the guys is a huge Star Trek nerd, huge. And the other main guy, Jay, is not. And so he actually it was Mike, the Star Trek nerd, and a guest who was also a Star Trek nerd, and they were talking about Picard. And they kept, like, Jay was off camera, and they kept like, being like, Jay, what do you know about Star Trek? And, what do you know about Star Trek TNG? He's like, engage? Which
Their argument was that Star Trek Picard only has things that people like Jay know about Star Trek. Picard face palming, engage.
never give up, never surrender. No,
That's Galaxy Quest.
just kidding.
The Borg, Klingons, Romulans. Benedict, don't walk on the keyboard.
Oh yeah, apparently Picard the show, so I mean I guess I've watched the review on that, but I don't think that really told me anything about TNG. So
If we do it this way, I'm going to try to get Andrew to do it in one take without pausing, or minimize pausing. But if I just capture her video, I can also capture the playtime
Not pausing.
OBS.
but like sometimes I like to go off on rants. Is that okay?
Yeah, well, if it's occasional, we can allow for it.
What can we just talk about? It's usually how I start. I love
Do
Galaxy
this way,
Quest.
straight
We
face.
rewatched that the other day. Oh, it's so good.
You'd appreciate Galaxy Quest more if you've seen Star Trek. It's a good movie on its own merits, I think.
What is it? By
Celebration
like
of Star Trek.
Gollum's hammer, you shall be avenged.
Rapthar.
Whatever, it's a G.
You got it wrong right after I just said it to you. I just said it to you, you still said it
Wait,
wrong.
it's not
Grabthar.
Grabthar.
By Grabthar's hammer.
Hammer.
It's a classic secret of having it at those.
And that is a good character arc for Alan Rickman's character. Ooh, that looks tough. Nice! Perfect. Well timed. I love when, like, they're on the ship and, Sigourney Weaver is just repeating what the computer says, and they're like, oh my god, you don't have to do that. And she's like, I have one job, and I'm gonna fucking do it. Like, you do you. Sigourney Weaver.
I see what they're making here. I feel like I've played another game that has a similar end area like this, where you have to hit the Kaizo blocks and then loop all the way back around to progress, but I don't remember. It would have been fine if I hadn't have hit the checkpoint before. I think Marty might be hungry.
Yeah.
They can't hear him because of the RTX voice.
He's going, man.
They can only hear him occasionally.
That's what he sounds like. I know, Ben, you're so hungry. Perfect timing. You know, that block thing reminds me of crossing the
Looks like
street
this is the end.
in Vietnam, where you just kind of go. You just have to cross.
I don't think just go.
Don't think, just go, and don't stop. Just, you've committed. Just go.
One step closer, Wayfarer. Whoa!
Is that the Heartless King? I thought he was a nice guy.
The Hollow King.
Oh, whatever. Stay in the middle. Stay in the middle.
It's pretty cool that it wasn't an actual fight still, right? Blarg, you self-righteous little vagabond, you think you stand a chance against my power? Look at your king, see how he has fallen. Ooh. King's heart remains broken. Oh, those are spikes, shit.
I see how, like, you know, the pixels come together to a single point.
Yeah, is that the
That
tell
means
that it's a spike?
That's the tell, yeah. It's really subtle.
It's a pretty cool looking area.
Dude, Alan Rickman was a gem. He's dead now, right?
Yes.
Alan Rickman was a gem. I can't remember the content. Maybe they were asking me if Alan Rickman, if I thought he was hot. And I was like, he is Die Hard. Right?
Hans Gruber?
Hans Gruber is sexy. Whatever. I thought he was sexy.
Oh no, it seemed like he was a super nice guy. His whole the American accent thing was they improv that in because they heard him using it on set in Die Hard, and they're like, that's great, we gotta put that in the movie.
What, Yippee-ki-yay?
The scene where he's pretending to be a hostage when
Oh, yeah.
John McClane finds him, and he does this, like, awful American accent. Bruce Willis gives him a gun, but it's not loaded. You think I'm an idiot, Hans? Shit. Ooh, that's...
You see when it, you know, is a bunch of pixels and then it goes down to 1 pixel. That's a spike. Spikes kill you.
Oh.
I love how you just sighed. You just, like, breathed in and was like, oh my god. I'm sorry, I'm being obnoxious.
No, it's good. It's educating me. It's,
that's very generous.
yeah, it's, you know, just sometimes you just need to learn about what a spike is. It's very you. It's on brand for you.
It's on brand. Okay, great. Premium Physics Andrea experience.
Oh, is this whole dungeon shaped like a heart? That's cool. Just realized that. I think I'm done.
Like, was
Check
it
the right side.
Ganon's dungeon? That's a skull?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was pretty good. Pretty dope.
almost all the dungeons in the original Zelda are shaped like something.
People die when you
Snake.
kill them. Can you kill anything in this game? I haven't seen you kill. But aren't you gonna have to battle that wizard?
No battling so far.
Okay, I can't give you shit for that because it was off screen. There was no way you could have known there were gonna be spikes there.
Well,
Well, you
the
knew
fact that
about
it came
this.
from this direction before.
I mean, That's kind of nitpicky. I'm gonna give you this one.
Might be that I have to go all the way around to get back there. Oh, maybe not.
Kitties, I'm not feeding you. I'm refreshing my beverage.
Kill or be killed. I'm gonna hug the wizard. That'll be the end game. Hug the goat. Hug the goat. Who's there? Come into the light where I can see you. Hey! Hey! Oh, hey! Thank you, Wayfarer. He's not a skeleton man anymore. Too long since I saw the sun. Come, join me. Seems as if our friend the wizard has run off. We'll have words if he dares to show his face in my kingdom again. Hooray, the king is back. Thank you, Wayfarer. Did you punch that wizard in the face? Did you? You didn't. I totally would have. The Arcadian is waiting inside to speak with you. What's up, dude? Journey's at its end. Are you ready to go? Understand there is no glory in what we do. There will be no songs written in our praise. The books will not know our names. When you sleep, when you dream, you will recall our faces. It's all we can hope for and all we can ask. Go now. So I went. Super Win the Game by J. Kyle Pittman. It's a cool game. I think I like this one and the original You Have to Win the Game about equally. They're very different. I recommend playing the first one before playing this one, I think.
So you just got him all his hearts and the wizard went away?
I think you probably need to get all the gems to face the wizard, and I'm short by like 10 or something.
Ah, I see.
Dream from which I could never wake. Oh, is this New Game Plus now? Because you've basically seen the credits. Right, so the area that we got to in the dream earlier was a super easy version of the tutorial section. Curious what happens when I get out here. Yeah. Dreams weren't always haunted. Yeah, so I think this is New Game Plus. Okay. Cool.
There's less spells or something?
No, it's just so you can finish going through and getting all the gems in case you missed some of them, which I did miss a few. Thanks, Game Saucer. This game was really cool. I enjoyed it. I'd like to see more from this dev if they put anything else out. I'd love to give it a shot. Let you guys know what's coming up here.
Oh, the kitties are getting excited. They know.